The Angry Chicken is a production of Amove TV. Bookmark amove.tv for more gaming and esports shows. The Angry Chicken is directly supported by listeners like you via patreon.com/TAC.
Hey everyone! Get in here! Ready for action! I've got the beast in my sight.
A podcast about Hearthstone, Heroes of Warcraft. This is the Angry Chicken.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome back. This is the Angry Chicken. I'm Garrett Weinzerl. He's Willie Dills Gregory. She's Jocelyn Moffat. Yeah, and we're back. I said welcome back. I said this is the Angry Chicken. I've got nothing else to say. My job is done here. Have a good show, everybody.
All right.
So today is mostly going to be card talk, but there's also some jazz happening outside of just cards in the world of Hearthstone. I'm just curious, what are you two doing in Hearthstone right now? Are you still laddering? Are you still arena-ing? Are you sitting there looking at cards that you don't play, thinking you're going to be the first to go when those new cards come out?
No, kind of just all over the place, honestly. It's been weird. There's so many things have changed. It's not like there's one thing that is sticking out to me that I want to do. I don't have one goal. It's I want to see how this arena stuff is working now, and I want to make sure that I'm laddering up enough so that I'm set up for every season, going forward. Oh, I got to earn all my packs on my other accounts now. There's just so many things to do. It's kind of awkward. I'm not doing normally it's I pick up both and I'm I'm going to get legend this month, but now I'm just kind of doing everything, which is weird.
Well, that's cool, man.
I don't know if I like it or not. Stop giving me so many things. Just chill out.
All right, fair enough. What about you, Joss?
I've been poking away at ladder, but I'm having trouble finding a deck that I really want to play with, because I keep seeing new things and trying new things and not really getting anywhere, and then just going and looking at the meta and just being Paladin, I could just play Paladin and then do well, and it just feels kind of crappy.
I'm in a bit of a similar boat. I have been having fun in Wild with that rogue deck that we mentioned at the top of the show last week. That's been my fun bit, but then I just got a ton of priest quests and I was like, screw it. I'm still at rank 5 anyway, so I'll just, I'll slap together oh my lord, my brain, 6-drop spawns things, Spiteful. My deck is literally named Out of Spite. I'll slap together one of those and I'll just get all my priest dailies done, and it's just, I realize that there's just something about standard where it's I just want to win. I don't enjoy standard unless I'm winning, and I had some real bad beats, a bunch in a row with the priest. I finally got over the hump and started winning, but I was just man, I could just be playing Paladin and I'd have less wins to get after the turnover next month. But I just I'm a little burnt out with winning, but all I want to do is win. So I think I'm just gonna go back to Wild and enjoy myself.
Yeah, I think Wild might be the key. Sorry, Dills, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say play Miracle Rogue. Miracle Rogue is super good again.
No.
No?
It's never been an archetype I've liked.
It's super fun, too.
I don't like playing Miracle Rogue. Never have.
Okay. Well,
that's I will say, though, I'm not familiar with the new version of it, so maybe I should take a look at it. Maybe it's different enough.
You play the spider thing. You just summon tons of spiders.
Yeah,
and then you
never mind.
Through your whole deck, and then you summon all these free 4/4s, and the priest deals 3 to everything and can't kill your 4/4s, and the paladin just gets overwhelmed by 4/4s, and also you're running double fan of knives, so you just deal with all their stuff pretty easily.
Okay.
Now it's actually, I really enjoyed it. I played against it, and I think I was playing priest, and I was like, yeah, this deck seems really good against me. I should look into this. And then I played it a couple times. I was like, yeah, this is really good. It just kind of rushed me. I think I went 15-4 or something like that with the deck, and it seems to have pretty good matchups against most things. And you just sap the warlock stuff, they play their 3/9s, and you're like, sap, here I come.
Doesn't it run sap and vanish?
No vanish, just double sap. Yeah.
Oh,
Gotcha.
Vanish is the King's Bane.
Vanish is in the whatchamacallit, the weapon rogue.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I misspoke. I have seen it then, and this is going to sound like a dig. Maybe it is. I've only seen it at rank 25. I saw this deck at rank 25.
Well, you didn't see me at rank 2 then.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's been played. There's been quite a few players bringing it to HCT too. So
Yeah. My good friend Ben, who hasn't played Hearthstone since I think GVG, randomly is back into Hearthstone. He dropped some money, dusted a bunch of stuff, he built himself a dude paladin, and I saw him on one night. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna spectate Ben and see what's going on. One thing led to the other. I ended up talking to him and talking him through plays and stuff, and kind of coaching him through. And there was, my lord, there is a wide swath of decks in rank 25. It was like,
That's funny because I was playing at rank 25 wild on my Chinese account or Asian account, not Chinese, but just Asia, whatever account. And all I was playing against was Q Block and Big Spell Mage and like legit decks. I'm serious. Literally 0 stars rank 25 in wild. Every single, and it might just be because they were people who just swapped to wild to get a quest done or something. Because it was quest day, like the packs and stuff. But they were all literal top tier decks. And I was like, what is happening? I'm at rank 25 on the 26th of the season. How are these top tier decks? Like, where are the River Crocolists?
I saw some of that too, but it was mostly decks where I'm just like, yeah, I have no idea what's going on here. I was like, maybe we play around Flame Strike because this mage has played 5 other cards I haven't seen in a mage in the last year, so I think we play around it. And but every now and then, yeah, it's like, oh, and suddenly Q Block. It would just kind of pop in there. Which was exciting because it would obviously come up in the course of conversation between me and my buddy who doesn't know what that is. He's like, oh, yeah, I'm just nodding my head and smiling. And then one pops up. I'm like, oh, dude, this is it. This is the deck I'm talking about. Wait till turn 5, man. You're going to hate it.
that's a really good way to get somebody into Hearthstone. Oh, just wait a couple turns. You're going to hate it.
Yeah, he's a card game player. So, like, we have a similar sense of humor with our card game saltiness. So he knew where I was coming from. But yeah, it's exciting. I'm stoked. I hope he sticks with it because Ben was actually the guy that got me into MTG, like, 5-6 years ago now. I was very late to the card game world in that regard, but I hope he sticks with it because it'd be fun to have a local friend that actually cares about Hearthstone. So. But anyway, there's some stuff to talk about, including new ways to get more free cards. So let's get into this week's Hearthstone news.
Good news, everyone!
There is a New Year of the Raven celebration happening in-game right now. It started today. It'll be running through April 9th, and during that time, if you complete a daily quest, you will get... not only the normal loot from it, whatever the amount of gold is, or a card pack if it's a spectator, that kind of thing, but you will also get a mystery pack from the Year of the Raven, which can be a Witchwood pack, but it could also be Ungoro, Frozen Throne, or Kobolds. And
Yeah, I got one pack from Witchwood on my Chinese or Asian. I keep saying Chinese. Asia account. They have their own server I can't even get to.
It's locked down, Dills. It's locked down.
Yeah, I know. Which is the one server I really wish I could get to, by the way, because that has all the cool stuff. But yeah, so I got one of those, and I at first was a little confused. I hadn't realized that they meant plus potentially future packs. So that's kind of cool. I like it, and it's definitely motivated me to go onto all of my other accounts and try to get quests done, which has been difficult to say the least. Because, like I said, everyone seems to be playing meta decks at all ranks now. So, good luck to me.
It's the end of an era, right? Like, if there's a point where, if there's any point in Hearthstone where you expect most players to have at least one tier 1 deck, I would say it's at the very tail end of a standard year, right?
Sure.
The most time has elapsed. People have had time to get their dust, get their gold, get their packs. So.
It's I don't know. I think we're not deep enough into this new ladder change to have what they did affect it yet, right? Like, we haven't spread the players out rank wise enough. So, like, there's multiple reasons why you're facing all these like meta decks down at low ranks.
That's true. Although I strained to find a reason as to, like, why this late in the month, right? Like, I would assume if you were motivated to come back to the ladder because you think that the ladder changes look good, why'd you wait till the 27th to get back to the ladder?
That's a good point. Yeah. Yeah. What do you do?
Some people
Play
are just
Hearthstone.
busy.
Yeah. Yeah. But you're right. In theory, the more time that goes by, the more distributed the player base should be, the less likely of running into tier 1 decks at Angry Chicken rank should be occurring.
But I think yesterday is a bad example for this because I do think, a lot of people were just trying to get quests done on maybe extra accounts. They were just trying to get stuff done to get those packs, and maybe they were playing like I saw even at rank 25 Wild, I saw a guy with a legend card back, and I was like, okay, you've really fallen.
You shouldn't be
far.
here.
Yeah. But I think that a lot of that had to do with he was just trying to get stuff done, just trying to make sure to get his free stuff.
I like the thought that you got matched up against other people who aren't from the region you're playing in. They're playing on their Smurf servers.
Yeah, there's other people who do that, like me. There's other crazy people like me.
Yeah, yeah. But this is great, and there's no limit. So if you've banked a few daily quests, all of them will yield a pack of cards. So do your dailies.
Yeah, if you were trying to min-max, the ideal thing was to have only 2 on Sunday, and then on Monday, the third one would come in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you'd have 3, and then you get all 3 that day, and then do 1 every day until the 9th, right?
Yep.
So,
yeah, exactly.
So do we think anything about the fact that it goes to the 9th and not to the 12th? Because the 12th was kind of like the date that the community figured would be the launch date for the expansion.
I mean, maybe we get it on the 10th. I mean,
That's what, because we've had it on the Thursday. I feel like for the
10th
past
is a Tuesday.
3 or 4 expansions, right? So
Mhm.
maybe we're going to be back to Tuesdays.
Do you think every expansion release on Thursday was supposed to be on Tuesday, and every single time something came up and they're like, oh, we got to push it. We got to push it 2 days, guys. We got to push it 2 days. Yeah. I mean, also, Tuesday's when like Tavern Brawl dies, right? Or is that Monday?
Yep.
Okay.
No, Monday. You're right. Monday.
Okay, so it is Monday.
Yeah, Tuesday there's no brawl on Tuesday.
Yeah,
ever.
Monday's like the last day.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think it's just the way that they push updates, especially to mobile clients. As to without having any idea.
I think there might be something to this, though. I think because this is the year of the Raven celebration. I think Jocelyn might be right here. I think we might be getting it on the 10th. I'm gonna hold out hope on that one.
2 more days. Yeah. I mean, I'm ready for the rotation. I'm ready for Nazoth to go away. I'm ready for Barnes to go away and Yasharaj. All of that just gone good.
I don't want Nazoth to go away. I just want the other ones. Yeah, I like Nazoth.
I like the old gods
all that
in
other
general.
Stuff you just said, though. Yeah, I'm ready for that.
I like the old gods.
I'm just ready. I'm just ready for a rotation.
I'm gonna miss them. I really enjoyed old gods. I'll miss them quite a bit. But but are you also ready to push Angry Chicken to a Wednesday? Because if it comes out on Tuesday, it's gonna come out late. We're not gonna have any time to play it. And like, what are we gonna talk about that day? Like, oh my god, it's here, guys. All right, that's the show. We're gonna go play now. See you next week.
Would that be so bad?
No. No, it wouldn't.
Yeah, that sounds like a fun show to me.
Yeah. I think everyone would be on board with just gameplay stream on day of release.
Sure, why not? But anyway, we got a little bit of news also that wasn't necessarily tied to, or well, some of it was tied to the expansion, some of it was not. But Iksar gave an interview to PC Gamer. He sat down with Tim Clark over there. It's a rather lengthy interview, and there's some fun anecdotes in there about the development of the game. As for big, like, concrete news, there's pretty much none, with the exception of that he confirmed what.
It's a really lengthy interview, and when it comes to news, there's none.
PC Gamer has been doing some pretty good Hearthstone content lately. This was extremely fluffy compared to the previous one with Young Woo.
This was kind of just like, let's have fun talking about Hearthstone.
Yeah.
But a lot of times around the time of the set release, unless it's very specific, and that you could tell they're trying to give out information about the expansion, it seems like they're always like holding back quite a bit, right? So they kind of control their own content releases.
I'm talking a little bit more, I guess, in the questions asked. Like I felt that the previous interview with Young Woo, like the questions being asked were really pointed and stuff like all the questions I would have ever wanted to ask, especially right after the tournament beta got announced. Whereas this one, I'm like, boy, these are a lot of softballs. But one thing did come out, and that's we're not getting any more odd or even cards. That the six we have seen that are specifically odd or even the theme, that's it. The quote from Iksar is that there's just the 4 we revealed in the video plus the 2 legendaries. That's the totality. We're going to have a lot of Echo and Rush stuff too, which I think are interesting mechanics. That's the direct quote. So,
well, I mean, kind of all cards released with a mana cost could be considered either odd or even cards, right? So there's still more stuff that we're going to be able to use to build those decks. That we just won't have those specific like special effects cards.
Right. But we were last week saying, do we think every class will get one of these? So this answers that question. No. Yeah. Every class will not. Which I think is fine.
Not get one.
Yeah, I think that's totally fine. I'm always.
And honestly, I think if this is the case, I don't think we're gonna see that effect ever. Like maybe in Wild there's enough support for it, but oh my god, there's no way that there's enough support for it in Standard with just the 6 cards we saw.
I kind of wish that the cards were just neutral then. Like if everyone wasn't going to get an option to do, just make them neutral, and then anyone can play around with odd and even decks.
Yeah, I'm gonna just sit and wait and see, because I feel that this is gonna be the thing that I'm wrong about, like really wrong about. I don't.
No, I'm gonna judge every single card that comes out as if I know everything. That's what I'm gonna do.
That's what we do.
And then the only other thing I wanted to pull in, because it ties into things I feel passionate about, is that tournament beta did get brought up, specifically band functionality. Tim Clark asked if band functionality was one of the first things that they hope to add once it's live. Iksar said, quote, yeah, for sure. We also talked about adding a band to ladder, not super seriously, but that would also be an interesting thing to do. Yes, it would!
Yes, do it!
Please talk about that seriously. It would be extremely interesting.
I want a ban on ladder. Like, the more I think about it, and just the more I want it. Like, I never want to face another Warlock again. I just don't. At least until the rotation.
Rogue. Just play Miracle Rogue and dumpster him. It's fine. What I've been doing.
Yeah. Like Void Lord also got brought up, but there wasn't really anything of note mentioned. Just that they're keeping an eye on it. Mm-hmm. So... God, 2 years of Void Lord. Every time I think about it, it's not like I can't beat them. I'm doing very well against Warlocks. I'm just kind of bored.
It's not, yeah, I mean, I'm with you guys. It's not a very fun card. Like, it's just the way it works just isn't. Like, there's cards that have been OP before that have been, like, Grim Patron, I could say, or it's like, yeah, but this is kind of cool. Mm-hmm. This is not that card. This is just like, oh, it's just a bunch of taunt inside a bunch of taunt. All right. Yeah. That's not fun. No one's having fun with that. Not even the guy who plays it is having fun. They're just kind of like, bleh, here it is. Guess they win now.
That should totally be the sound when it hits the board.
Game's over. I win. Bleh.
I win slowly. Hope you like dealing with a lot of life.
I don't even win by killing you. I just win by being like, you can't kill me. Like, you're annoyed now and you leave. I feel I should probably have started keeping personal stats for that, but I feel like my personal statistics for conceding significantly earlier than usual have gone skyrocketing since Void Lord's been added. Because I feel like I just know. I know when that first one comes out, like if I totally can win this, it's just going to take a while, or there's probably no chance, and if there is one, I don't want to take that much time to figure it out.
Well, I find the thing about the Void Lords is, like, even if you can deal with the first one, it's probably going to take you a couple of turns, and by the time you've dealt with the first one, they've brought down the second one, and I'm just like, I don't even want to deal with the first one now because it's stupid and pointless.
They bring back both of them twice.
Yeah.
It's like you said, they bring them back. There's 4 of them now. So.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, when I finally got over the hump of like starting to replay Spiteful Priest again, it was because I started hitting Warlocks. I was like, oh, cool. I'm just going to steal all your stuff. So sometimes it just matters what you're playing.
That's why the Control Priest was kind of fun. I mean, that's why I like playing the Miracle Rogue, because if I could just sap one of them and force you to actually spend the 9 mana on it, then I can start beating your face in. Yeah, and I Leroy Coldblood you.
Yeah, that's great.
Sap
is a really good really good tool in that matchup. But anyways, we've got quite a few cards to talk about today. Before we do that, we have a sponsor to thank. A new sponsor today, as a matter of fact, Rover, which you can find by going to rover.com/angrychicken. And if you've never heard of it, if you don't know what it is, it's the largest network of 5-star pet sitters and dog walkers in North America. That's right. I said North America, not just the U.S. We've got you covered, Jocelyn. We've got you covered. This is they serve pet parents across the U.S. and Canada. And they connect dog owners with trusted pet care whenever they need it. They have already performed millions of services that have been booked on Rover itself. I actually just recently tried it because I found out they were going to sponsor, and I figured, hey, I should probably give this a shot. It's awesome. Like, it's really good. We leave a lot. We need people to watch our animals, and Rover made it super easy. And we're both weirdos about our dogs. We love them deeply, and we don't know how we feel about strangers coming to take them for walks, let them outside, that kind of stuff. But like, there's reviews for each pet sitter right in the app. You can sort it by all sorts of different filters. We went by just distance, and we ended up finding one of the highest rated sitters right around the corner from us. This lovely woman was right around the corner. Took her like no time to come over. She came over the day before she was even supposed to watch the dogs, just to meet them, like, on her own time. She's like, yeah, I'll come over, I'll meet them, you can show me around the house, I'll get the key from you. It was super awesome and really put me at ease. So, like, Katie and I went off this weekend. We went to one of our favorite breweries, and I'm getting updates on my phone the whole time with, like, photos of our two little adorable chihuahuas as they're going out to play and go for their walk. And it was supremely pleasant. I've definitely been converted. So you should check them out over again at rover.com/angrychicken. They've got a special offer for everyone listening. You can get $25 off your first booking by going to rover.com/angrychicken. And if you use the promo code angrychicken during checkout, again, that's $25 off your first booking. Check out rover.com/angrychicken. Use the promo code angrychicken at checkout. So we thank them for the support, and we thank you all for going and checking that out. Now let's get into it. This week's Witchwood card talk.
It says warning on it. I think we should watch it.
No, we cannot make that card.
It's too OP.
Guys, nerf it now.
I will come back around to this question, but I'm starting to question, is it too OP? Is it? Nope. I'm not sure it is. No. But we're going to be going in class alphabetical order as always, so we'll come back around to that question, even though both Jocelyn and Dills have already answered it. Mm-hmm. But we're going to start in Druid today. 2 new Druid cards have been revealed. We're going to kick things off with Witchwood Apple, a 2-mana common Druid spell that reads, add 3 2/2 treants to your hand.
This is certainly also not too OP. Or it is trash. The 2/2
unless
treants
the 2/2s were free.
By the way.
Yeah. The fact that they have their 2 mana cost attached to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so by the end of this, if you deployed everything, you're paying 8 mana for 3 2/2s?
Yes.
Yeah, that doesn't check out.
They talked about it on the card reveal that there's a couple of potentially interesting things going on here. Like if you're trying to make your hand size bigger to make mountain giants cheaper, there's something there. If you're trying to just fill your hand with minions so that you can play sea giants, there might be something there. So maybe in like wild in a giants druid, you could do something with this, but I don't know, man. I feel like in standard, there's just not enough stuff that makes this matter, right?
Right. I mean, there'll be times where I take it in arena because I'm like, I just need things to play because my draft has been going a certain way. But it's not, again, it's not like I'm going to be like, oh, yay, Witchwood Apple, snap pick.
I think in arena, this card is going to be rated like just below trash tier because you're ending up spending 8 mana on 3 2/2s. You pay 2 mana first just to generate them, and then you pay 2 mana for each one after that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like the giant thing is interesting, and I don't disagree with it. But now it like makes me wonder: like, are druids getting their own giant? Like, is there more incentive other than what already exists in the game for me to want to fill up my hand or fill up my board?
I get the feeling that there is maybe something like that going on here because also we see the next card looks like hand size matters. So maybe there's some other cards in Drew we haven't seen yet where hand size is a thing. and Ultimate Infestation is still a thing. So, yeah,
I'm
it's
also
possible.
wondering if they're going to get some sort of like another buff or two, just because to me these two cards together kind of scream a tokeny kind of a deck, just like putting a whole bunch of little stuff on the board and then buffing the crap out of it.
Yeah, but the problem is that in that deck, the second card we're going to talk about, Whispering Woods, is terrible because you don't ever have a lot of cards in your hand in token druid decks.
Well, in an
play all your cards.
aggro-y, in an aggro-y token druid deck,
Yeah.
maybe not, but like something more mid-rangey violet teachery.
Maybe.
I
But even then, like, you can't, a token without being aggro doesn't work. Like, just making tokens and then trading with them, like, that's never worked. There's been, even in the Violet Teacher days, it was still an aggro druid, right? They still tried to run you over. It was just they had this tool. That was before they had things like living mana and stuff. Which
yeah, that's true. There's better ways to make tokens.
Yeah, there's
now.
way better ways now.
Please see Paladin.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's just never been, even in other card games, I can't think of like a time where the token game plan was not tied to being aggressive, right? It's just they kind of go hand in hand, right?
Yeah.
Because you know that you can get your board swept at any point, so you just token and then you go base.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's some mid range to it as well, but at no point would I say control, which is where I would at least chalk up our existing hand archetypes.
Sure.
Yeah.
And the other thing too is like I think about these things. I'm like, if I pay 8 mana for 3 2/2s, wouldn't I rather just pay 6 mana for a whole bunch of 1/5s with taunt? Like, until Spreading Plague is gone, I can't see Druid using these cards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of the next card that may work with this unknown archetype that we are talking about, Whispering Woods, is a 4-mana epic druid spell, and it reads: summon a 1/1 wisp for each card in your hand.
Yeah, so like the Witchwood Apple puts 3 cards in your hand, then you get extra 1/1 wisps for each of those cards. But again, it's probably not good enough for
the
what's
first
standard
place
is now. But we have to, like, I don't know. There's got to be other druid cards that somehow help this.
Yeah,
These
that's
cards just seem terrible in a vacuum.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of. The first place my brain went was, oh, this could be kind of fun with Knife Juggler. Then I'm like, wait, you know what I'm already doing with Knife Juggler in 4 mana? I'm summoning 3 2-drops or less in freaking Paladin. And 1/1 wisps that does not excite me.
Mm-hmm. Well, and
if you have a full hand, it's 4 mana 7/7. They said on
yeah, totally the same.
Yeah, and then Fan of Knives.
or anything. But I mean, the other thing too is the reason why these are good in Paladin is that Divine Shield is there, right? So Divine Shield is such an important mechanic for, and also buffing these minions. And Druid does have like these kind of mass buffs. So but like I said, like the Whispering Woods doesn't work with an aggro mechanic because you dump your hand. You don't have a hand ever, right? So I don't know, man. I don't know. It's like cards pulling you in different directions, and then usually that doesn't work. Which is kind of in the theme that I've seen in all of these cards. Is like they're kind of pulling you in a direction that isn't going to work when you actually start putting it all together.
Yeah, and I mean these two cards are both evens as well, and the Druid specific odd even card is about odd cost decks. So I'm kind of like, what?
Yep. So that don't work.
Putting a bunch of little tokens behind a big taunt would be great, except for their big taunt costs 5 instead of like 4 or 6 to work in an even deck. So, dang it.
I know I said I liked the speed that it looks like these cards will be being revealed, but man, this is just, I'm having such a hard time evaluating the cards with this particular expansion. Like I'm struggling to think of a time where it felt this difficult. I'm sure someone out there with a better memory than I is like, oh, Garrett, you said that about X expansion. But this one really, I'm just looking at it like, I don't know. I feel like the last few expansions during the reveals season, we were just like, yeah, that's balanced. Yeah, that's balanced. Oh, with a lot of the cards so far, I'm looking at this being like, that's kind of bad. That's kind of bad. I think this is bad.
They seem kind of combo-y and reliant on, what else is either in your deck or in a card pool. And so because we don't really know what's going to be in our deck or in our card pool, it makes it really hard to just look at these cards in a vacuum and say, this is good or this is bad. Because like, even when we're going to talk, it's not even on the screen yet, so I won't even mention it. But, like something that pulls randomly from a card pool, it's like, we don't even know what that card pool looks like. So we can't even say this will be good or bad because the class might get a whole ton of spells, right? That might be crazy good and crazy OP. And then all of a sudden, what we thought was going to be bad is going to be good now. And it just, it's so weird, especially with all this even odd stuff.
Well, I can tell you these two cards suck with Greymane too. Like, I'm sorry, they just do.
Yeah, because
people who are talking about Greymane in the chat, no, just forget that, because this
Greymane
deck doesn't
makes your
want a
hero power
one-cost
cheap,
hero
right?
power. Like,
Yeah.
no, that's not even good for this deck. I'm sorry, these cards are trash. I'm just gonna say it. I don't know why, like, we feel like cards have feelings or something. Like, no, these cards suck. They're not humans. They look at the cards. They suck.
I don't hold back because I think the cards have feelings. I hold back because we don't know that the Hearthstone has become so combo dependent across multiple archetypes that I never know. I never truly, absolutely know. If we look at it in a vacuum, these are some of the worst cards I've ever seen. But something might come. I don't know, and that's the issue with.
They need a lot of help though. These need there's not going to be that many extra druid cards. So,
right.
I mean, obviously, we've seen cards that have surprised us. That's going to happen again. It's going to happen this time. We're going to get cards that surprise us this time.
So am I allowed to make fun of you when Witchwood Apple becomes the most the biggest point of contention in Witchwood? Dill's left. Yeah.
All right. He just doesn't want to talk about druid cards anymore. He's
done.
like, we're going back to the apple? Screw this.
Well, fine. I'm moving on to Hunter, the one Hunter card we got to see, which is a legendary minion, Houndmaster Shaw, 4 mana, 3/6. No designation, not a beast. He appears to be a human. And
well, yes, he's a Gilnean.
So he's a Worgen, but he doesn't have a Worgen form.
But without the flippy floppy thing.
Right. Yeah, without the flippy floppy.
Yeah.
So his effect is that your other minions have rush.
Really key to this card is your other minions have rush, not your beasts have rush. So it's way more effective if you've got anything in your deck that isn't a beast, although hunters have been very beast centric. But the thing I like about this card is it really feels like it kind of enables a little bit more of a mid-rangey late game control kind of an archetype for hunter, which they've always had potential tools for, but never really got pushed as far as it could possibly go. They never quite made it there. Those decks were never quite viable. And I think it's something like this that might actually change that. I mean, 6 health on turn 4 is, harder to deal with, and they're going to have to use some significant removal. And if not, you're going to be able to use your Spellstone on turn 5 to then, remove a lot of your opponent's minions. So I think this is a really good control tool, and I'm glad that Hunter's getting something to help them control through that kind of mid-ish game, because they just didn't have that before.
Still gonna suck though. This is a.
Damn it, Dills!
I'm sorry. It's not good enough because it's a legendary. This was a non-legendary. You can run 2 of these, yes, but you're not gonna rely on this mechanic when you can only put 1 of them in your deck. So, okay, I will say this: if they can give you a few more cards that have a similar type effect to allow you to do some rushy things, then absolutely. But with just this card, we need to see more.
Mm-hmm.
This is, and also they do keep giving us these this is control hunter, but the one thing they can never give us is the hero power. Is just terrible for control. So
yeah,
I don't know. I looked at this card and I thought the exact same thing. I was like, if you can play this on 4 and Spellstone on 5, that's a great way to control the board. But how many times are you gonna even have a single legendary by turn 4? So I wish this was just a rare, right?
Yeah, because this isn't the kind of card that you would want to keep. It's not. I don't think it's integral to your win condition. You don't you don't usually keep for control, at least not that late in the game, right? Like if I see a paladin right now, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm keeping my Duskbreaker. But beyond that, like, yeah, it's a one of, I don't want to keep this in my opening hand because I want to combo it with something. So it's odd. Although this is the first one we've talked about today where I would go, yeah, this is balanced. Like, whereas the 2 druid cards, I'm like, I think these are just
I feel
bad.
like this is decent. I just don't think it's the card that's going to push Hunter over the top, right? When it comes to being able to play this type of style.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, I need to see. Willie Dills needs to use Rover and get a pet sitter for Iggy during the show.
Hours on Tuesdays.
Let's move on to the new Paladin card that was revealed, Rebuke. It's a 2-mana common Paladin spell that reads, enemy spells cost 5 more next turn. I miss
Why
Lothab.
did this have to go to Paladin?
I miss Lothab.
I mean, this could be good with an aggressive Paladin style, right? Because you flood the board and then you prevent them from dealing with it. But it's just way weaker than Lothab ever was. Lothab, for 3 extra mana, gives you a 5/5. Right?
Yeah.
And the 5/5 is a threat as well. So you can run 2 of these. I don't know if you do.
It seems so powerful because it's like Paladin doesn't really even need that 5/5 body. Like, by the time it's turn 3, in a lot of cases, they have a board that's impossible to deal with without some sort of AoE. So if I make a crazy board and then on turn 3 or 4 I just throw down Rebuke so you can't get rid of it, then like that gets rid of Hellfires, that gets rid of like Defiles, and that like then I just kill you. Like, they don't need this help.
Yeah, the Warlock is also the only thing that's popping into my head as a class that I'm worried about removal spells, because like I'm worried about it in Priest, but it's tied to a minion. I don't know. I don't see as many instant places for Rebuke right now. Obviously, everything's going to change with the new meta
currently. Like the way that they protect their board is Divine Shields, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, you could fit it in pretty easily, but I saw a lot of people talking about how this card is like broken good, and I'm just like, I don't think it is. I think it's fine. I think it's not even that good. I think it's actually maybe not even going to be in these decks.
Yeah, I mean, this is one where I see the potential, and I put a lot of the emphasis on which way does the meta shift. Does a lot of board clearing spells show up in the meta? Does Divine Shield leave Paladin? If those 2 things happen, then yes, Rebuke absolutely has a place. But if it doesn't, then I think this goes on the back burner for now.
Yeah, it's a card that will always be potentially able to come back though and do something crazy.
Right. Yeah, this is a cool tool. This is a card I'm excited to see enter the game. I'm just not sure I see a home for it at this very moment. Let's move on to Priest. Vivid Nightmare was revealed. It's a 3-mana epic priest spell. Reads, choose a friendly minion. Summon a copy of it with 1 health remaining.
Yeah, this is cool. So we should clarify what that means. It means, like, because in the past we've seen cards where it's like it's a 1/1 version of it. No, this means like it's damage down to 1 health. So you could heal it back up. Mm-hmm. Whatever it's supposed to have as far as its health pool, you could heal that back. So you could
Circle of Healing,
potentially use
power.
this with like the Obsidian statue, and it would be a 4/8 that you could eventually play like Circle of Healing and stuff like that. But I think more often you're going to see this in like I talked about this on my stream last night. Like there is a combo you could do with this card that would do 80 damage. It's Radiant Elemental. If you played only Velen up to that point, then you play the Discover a minion that died and bring it back. So then you bring back Velen for 2. So it's 2, then 4. And then you play 2 of these for 1 mana each. So 5, 6. And then you can play... or no, that's 7, 8, sorry. And then you could play 0 cost Mind Blast, which would double twice. So they would each do 40. So you do 80 damage for 7 cards. Yeah. And 8 mana. Wow.
Damn.
I mean, also, though, you could just do like Leroy this Mind Blast and deal 17, right? So that seems like a feasible thing that's a good finisher.
Yeah.
And this card is one like I can see always being potentially abusable when it comes to like wild and stuff. Like this is always going to kind of be there as a maybe combo piece. So this is the most interesting card out of all the ones that we've seen so far, I think.
Yeah, I think this is the best card of the stuff we're talking about today. I look at this and I'm like, yeah, this is just a good card.
So I have a question about mechanics with this card. So if I Potion of Madness my opponent's minion and do a whole bunch of inner fire, divine stuff, shenanigans, and then Vivid Nightmare it, does it still have like the charge that the other minion would have? So could this fit in Combo Priest, or
unless they change that
sleepy?
effect with the genie, and that's how it works here. But I would think it would. I would think if you Potion of Madness something, and then swap its health and attack around until it has a bunch of attack. Yeah, you could do this and then also have that much attack with just 1 health.
Yeah. Which, I mean, if you're ending the game, then 1 health is fine. You could even then, steal something, because a lot of the times the way to kind of play around these things is to put up a taunt, right?
But Potion of Madness is no longer in Standard, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. But in Wild, yeah.
But in Wild, yeah. I was just curious if that would actually work or if it would just be sleepy.
Wouldn't have to be a charge minion to end there, or right?
No, because Potion of Madness gives the minion charge.
Yeah.
Right, but
it's part of
that's right.
Mechanic,
So then
like
you're right. So you make a copy of it, and it should still have the charge
it
effect.
Just has
for
charge.
Yeah,
it should have everything.
Like if you Potion of Madness something and Faceless Manipulator it has charge.
Gotcha.
Okay, well then, because this sounds basically like a faceless type effect.
Mm-hmm.
So.
All right, cool. Let's just hope they don't Hearthstone it and that it doesn't work that way for reasons that don't make sense. But
I mean, they'd have to change a whole bunch of cards if this didn't work that way.
Yeah.
Like, they'd have to change Faceless and Genie and all that stuff.
So then, I think this could be a cool tool in Combo Priest then too.
Yeah, it's just a good card, and I love the art. So, yay, Vivid Nightmare. Let's move on to Rogue. One of their legendaries was revealed. Face Collector. I love the theme. I love everything about this card, other than maybe its meta playability. But it's a 3-mana 2/2 legendary minion for rogues. It has Echo. It also has a battle cry that reads, "Add a random legendary minion to your hand."
Yeah, legendary minions have proven to be pretty crap in the past. Like our random ones. Yeah. So. So yeah, this is probably crappy, but like if the issue I have with it as far as playability is concerned is the type of rogue it goes into is like a value oriented rogue, right? That just wants to generate lots of cards, and rogue doesn't generally work that well that way, right? Like they haven't really had a value oriented rogue deck that's actually worked. So I don't know if we're gonna suddenly have that. Just because of this card. So there needs to be more cards. Like they don't have enough AoE potential. They have Vanish and stuff like that, but like Blade Flurry still sucks. So yeah, it's like they need more potential to just kind of handle the board and get to late game and then beat you with awesome late game stuff. And I don't think this is really it. But it's a super cool card. Super cool.
The cool factor is kind of off the chain here. This is the kind of card that I don't even want to evaluate it in a serious manner because I just like it so much. This is the kind of card that I hope I get because I want to have it in my collection, and I know I'm not going to go out of my way to craft it unless I'm just rolling in dust. But I want it for when I do like my, hey dude, what's your silliest deck? Your silly deck versus my silliest deck. Let's throw down, because this is the type of card that I want for those type of fun interactions with friends. So
yeah,
I kind of like the idea that it has Echo on it. I think that could be pretty cool. So basically, like you just play it and then get it a copy in your hand, and you could just make tons and tons of legendary minions.
Right.
It seems fun.
You can make 3.
Yeah. Still.
You can for 9 mana you play 3 2/2s and draw 3 random legendaries, and one could be friggin' Nat Pig.
I'm so glad our brain went to the same place.
But then you like Shadow Step or Vanish or something, and then you could make more.
Sure. I mean, yeah. Like
That'd
if
be
you
fun.
played this twice and one of them was Zola, the Gorgon, you could just play that and then have it again next turn. But again, it's like, okay, I keep adding legendary minions to my hand. The other guy's like, yeah, but I'm just killing you. So, congratulations.
Well, then you just yell at your opponent and say, why don't you like fun?
Come on, we played Hearthstone for 5 years. The opponent doesn't like fun.
I know.
We're here to win.
Go to a fireside, bring Face Collector with you. I promise you'll have a good time.
That I can get behind.
Yep.
This is meme deck all day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, time to advance the slide. I need a click noise just for the video portion of this. We're on to Shaman now with Witch's Apprentice, which so far for me is winning the art game. I love the art on this card. So 1 mana 0/1 common Shaman Beast that has Taunt and a battle cry that reads, add a random Shaman spell to your hand.
I love animals wearing hats.
Also, not just hats, jewelry. He's got bling. Or she, I don't know.
True.
So yeah, apparently we're going down this random shaman spell thing. So
Yeah, this is what I was talking about earlier.
2 expansions ago, shaman got freeze shaman, and this time they're like, well, that didn't work out. What about random spells? And I don't know about that one either. I think shaman's gonna not be good again if this is what we're gonna see a whole bunch of. I hope that's not true. I hope that's not the case.
Unless they get a whole bunch of very, very powerful spells.
Yeah, but they need a whole bunch because
Yeah.
you still got like cryostasis and stuff is going to be in the pool.
So
You've got totemic might in the pool. You know, you've got some cards that are just not good in the pool, and I think that's a big problem.
Well, and I think like Rune Spear never caught on. Although, and I mean, so that had the trade-off of like it had a discover mechanic, but then you couldn't choose the target. So this is kind of the other way around. Like you lose the discover mechanic, but you get to choose when and where you cast that spell. But yeah, I feel like if that never caught on, the likeliness of the Witch's Apprentice and the new hero card catching on are slim to none.
you know what this card needs? Echo.
What?
This card needs Echo.
Wow.
I think actually Echo would make it broken.
Yes.
One mana,
Yes,
just like
I'm
play
aware.
until I get a good spell.
Play it till I get a good
actually be
spell
way too-
and put a whole bunch of really annoying little taunts that you need AoE to clear.
You know they make adorable little rivets, so yeah, I want that. I want to just hear a bunch of frog croaking as I load up the board with Witch's Apprentices. But yes, you're right. It would totally make it busted.
Yeah, but I mean, no, I see what you're saying. Like that would make it. It would make it busted, but it would make it playable. I think right now it's not playable at all. If it was a 0/1 without taunt, sure, maybe. But even then, like, yeah, just being able to like just add a spell until you get one you like, that seems crazy to me.
Yeah,
the reason why Hagatha is, I think, a pretty bad card is because it works kind of in the opposite direction, right? Like, you get one shot a turn to get something that's useful.
Yeah, well, it's not.
Well, unless you spam the board, sure.
Right,
But
it's
I
not
mean,
one shot.
yeah,
You have as many.
are you gonna? Okay, well, I'll talk about that when we get there.
Well,
But-
well, let's just do it. We're there. Hagatha the Witch.
Yeah, we're there.
Is the tease from the announcement video? Shaman Legendary Hero card. The only new hero card we're getting this expansion. It is an 8 mana legendary. It gives you 5 armor, just like a Death Knight. It has a battle cry that deals 3 damage to all minions, and it changes your hero power to a passive hero power that reads, after you play a minion, add a random shaman spell to your hand. So, Witch's Apprentice, Hagatha the Witch, you see the connection now.
Witch's Apprentice would now give you 2 spells, which we saw in the reveal, right?
Yes. Yeah, so, yeah, I just don't... I look at Hagatha, I'm like, I expected more of you, and I turn my head like an inquisitive cat.
Yeah, this card seems awful, which is too bad because like when they did the thing in the little video, like it's too OP. I was like, oh my god, what is Shaman gonna?
What
get?
have they done? Yeah.
Yeah, but no. So the problem with the card is that, like its initial effect is fine, right? Like you play it and you deal 3 damage to everything. That seems cool. Like if I'm playing a control Shaman, as far as like Death Knight come into play effects, that's fairly strong, right? But the problem is, okay, so I like right now in chat, someone just did it. Good control card. Why? Why is it a good control card? Because I keep seeing people say that. Like, I get that you are going to generate tons of value after you play it, but if you build a control deck, that deck is not just full of minions; it's full of spells. And now when I play Hagatha, I have to play minions to get these random spells, right? So my deck full of spells to control the board is now actually not playing minions when I actually play Hagatha. So again, it's like I'm being pulled in two separate directions here, right? Also, if I'm playing a control deck, I'm not playing a bunch of small mid-range minions where I'm playing a bunch of them a turn. I'm playing like big, bomb style minions where I'm playing one for like 8 or 9 mana. I get a random spell, I can't even cast it because I've used all my mana that turn, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I keep seeing people say that. I'm just like, why? I don't see why you think this is a good control card.
Plus,
like,
turn 8. Are you controlling on turn 8 with this card? I don't think you are. I think that 3 damage is not killing most things on turn 8.
Yeah.
I mean,
it depends
I hear
how
that
much
kind of
damage
stuff too,
you've
but I also
done.
think like the way games play out, like things can be, you can run some stuff into some stuff and you finagle it right to like do it. So
yeah,
I think it will kill some stuff, but yeah, you're right. Like it's not gonna kill their big stuff, So
But then, like, his chat room
just
saying
awkward.
you need a minion heavy deck. It's like, yeah, but her battle cry does damage to all minions, not enemy minions.
Yeah, so I'm in a minion
if
heavy
you're
deck, and then
playing
I
a
deal
lot of
with
minions, you're damaging your own stuff too. So that doesn't really work 100% either.
Yeah, I think the card just doesn't quite jive. Now, the other argument I've heard a lot of people say is, like, oh, but Lyra turned out to be better than we thought. Lyra was good for like one meta cycle, and is now no longer in any decks anymore, right? Like the combo decks aren't playing it anymore either. So, like, it was fine for a second. If Shaman gets a whole bunch of awesome spells added this round, maybe, but the problem there is that it's still going to have cryostasis. It's still going to have totemic might. It's still going to have all those things. So,
well, I feel like that's like with priest in their random spell generation and mage in their random spell generation, like their pools of spells are just head and shoulders above shaman, right? Like shaman has a really crappy pool of spells right now. So yeah, there's some things that you could get that will be situationally good, like Hex and Volcano, but then there's other things like Dill's mentioned, Cryostasis. Like there's other things that are just totally terrible. And there aren't really all that, like, I mean, Shatter and Mage maybe, but like, or you could get Fireballs and Frostbolts and Pyroblasts.
Yeah, Mage has like one bad spell compared to Shaman has a whole bunch of bad spells. And and also, if I'm playing a minion-centric deck, and then I get things like Volcano, is that actually going to be good? So, yeah, I don't know, man. It's it just feels like it's just not. It doesn't fit what it's set up to fit, right? And that's the issue that I have with it. So
I want to know.
I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's cool. I mean, I'll mess around with it, but I messed around with Rune Spear, and it was,
Yeah.
I want to know what the heck testing was like for this card, because I'm just looking at it like, why is this so expensive? I don't know why. Lyra, you've mentioned Lyra. Lyra gives you random spells. Lyra comes online at 5. You're like, yes, Lyra can be can be killed, so you kind of need to be lower cost so that you can play it and get instant value out of it the same turn. But that being said, I don't 3 damage to the board is good, but is it 8 mana good for this passive hero power that doesn't have an immediate effect on the game?
Yeah. The other issue too is like Lyra could feed itself, right? Like Lyra, you would cast a spell, get a spell, cast another spell, get another spell.
Yeah.
Like you just keep that cycle going, right?
Right.
And
but yeah,
the problem
this is
here
doesn't do that at all, right? It's minions and spells instead of spells and spells.
Now, if it was spells and spells and it was passive, that would be crazy broken too. Like, you talked about Echo on Witch's Apprentice, but if you just forever had like every time I cast a spell, I just get another spell, well, then you could build a control warlock that just never ran out of cards, right?
Control shaman.
Control shaman, yeah, that just never ran out of cards, right? You just kept playing cards and playing cards and playing cards, like you just always had cards.
Listen,
that would be good. But
Hagatha looks like a warlock,
good, but this ain't it.
Yeah, this was a big head scratcher for me because I'm used to getting very excited about hero cards. Granted, they all came in one expansion prior to this, and most were pretty cool, at least out of the gate. But yeah, I'm sorry, Hagatha, you're not doing it for me.
I do kind of find it cool though that we got another passive hero power. I hope they explore that space a little bit more, because right now all we've got is Valera, right, with the passive hero power. So I want to see more hero cards and I want to see more passive hero powers. I just hope that they think outside the box a little more. I don't know. I just feel like they're not tapping all the potential that they could have here.
I'm kind of sick of seeing random spell.
Yeah. I agree too. There's enough random.
I don't mind. Like, I don't mind the RNG aspect. It's like It's like, man, we've really beaten that mechanic into the ground,
Yeah.
haven't we?
Yeah.
It's like, how many things say random spell at this point? Like,
Yeah.
And it's better when it's attached to a cheap minion and it's like one-time use. That's easier to find the value there. It doesn't ask as much of me as a player. Whereas this is the pinnacle of why for me. Like, why is this card being made? I'm not sure. Like, the random aspect is fun. I know I just talked about Face Collector being like, yeah, that's fun. That's a fun card. But I get to start screwing around with Face Collector a lot earlier in the game. Whereas I'm pretty sure I lose the game by the time I start trying to make Hagatha work.
yeah. Someone in chat just mentioned something I think is also something to consider, is that if you play Echo minions, maybe there's something there where you can repeat them over and over again and find a good spell. But even then,
But even then, I think when we've seen the Echo minions that we've seen haven't been playable more than 2 or 3 times in a very late game turn, right? So you need to be on 9 or 10 mana because most of them have been 3 cost, right? So you can't.
Well, you will
really
be though, because
even...
Hagatha costs 8. So
yeah,
by
that's
default,
true.
you will be.
But
I mean, maybe there's something there that, we'll see. Like, that's how you could build something like that. But because then you could fit a bunch of spells in as well and be kind of controlly, and then at the end you play, you save your Echo minions for after you Hagatha type of thing. But yeah, I don't know. Even then, it's like, I mean, you're relying on Hagatha to give you stuff that's actually usable, and that just might not happen sometimes. Like Babbling Book worked so well because it was like Mage didn't have decent turn 1s outside of Mana Worm, right? So like, here's something you could just do on turn 1 that gives you a 1/1 that makes your ping better on turn 2, because now you can actually deal with minions sometimes, right? And so that's why that was like decent and playable. It's not even playable now. Like, people don't even play the card now. But at the time, like, that's kind of what it did. And Hagatha just is like the complete opposite of that. You wait until all the way till the end of the game, and then you play this like non-tempo play, and then you hope to get good value. Not buying it.
I'm just
not
not
buying it.
I'm just not that interested in this card, man. It's not inspiring me to find a way to make it work. But we'll see. It's not like I'm gonna be like, no, I said I didn't like it. I'm not gonna play it when this releases and somehow someone figures out that this card's actually insane and is required in Shaman decks. But before we move on, we still have plenty of cards to talk about. We need to take another break. We have a second sponsor to thank today, Casper, which you can find over at casper.com/TAC. They are back. If you haven't heard a previous episode where Casper has been a sponsor, they make wonderful, affordable mattresses, and you can be sure of your purchase with Casper with their 100-night risk-free sleep on it trial. Dills, did you know you spend a third of your life sleeping?
I've heard this statistic before. It's actually pretty easy to break down. There's 24 hours in a day, and 8 of them you spend sleeping, right? So,
if you're lucky.
Yeah.
Sure.
You should be comfortable in that third of your life, right? Like, that seems like a natural leap to make. Yeah.
I'm hip. I'm with it. I like to be comfy.
You hold with it. Yeah, so you should, and so Casper can help you out with that. Casper's products are designed to mimic human curves, even if you're shaped like me. Providing supportive comfort for all kinds of bodies. The original Casper mattress combines multiple supportive memory foams for a quality sleep surface with the right amount of both sink and bounce, which is good because I still like to jump on my bed, so I'm glad it has some bounce. Thank you, Casper. It also has a breathable design, so if you live in a swamp like me, it helps keep you cool. It helps regulate your body temperature. That's not the only mattress they have, though. They have a selection. They offer 2 other mattresses as well, the Wave and the Essential. Find out more of that over at casper.com/TAC. They also have a wide array of other products like pillows and sheets. They're designed, developed, and assembled here in the United States. It's delivered to your door in this box that is so small you're not quite sure how they did it until someone on your subreddit posts a link to a YouTube video showing the exact machine that they used to do to get it into the box, and it was
posted on like our Oddly Satisfying too, right? Like watching them smoosh it down.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
It's great. It's great. And then on top of all that, free shipping and returns in the US and Canada. And then on top of all of that, they got a special offer for you Angry Chicken listeners out there. You can get $50 towards select mattresses by visiting Casper.com/TAC. Just use the code TAC at checkout. Again, that's code TAC. Terms and conditions apply. But again, that's $50 towards your select mattress. Go to Casper.com/TAC and use the code TAC. And you know who needs to get some comfort and a good night's sleep is Garrosh. He hasn't been doing great as of late. He's fallen from grace. He misses his pirate buddies. Let's see if some new warrior cards might put a smile on his face. Starting with Warpath, which is a 2-mana common warrior spell with Echo. It also deals 1 damage to all minions.
This card is maybe the best card we've seen out of the entire thing.
It's pretty rad. My
Better
vote.
than the priest one?
My vote still goes to the priest
Oh, yeah.
card. Vivid Nightmare I still like better than this, but this is a damn good card.
No, I mean the priest one's like my favorite, like flavor-wise, but I think this is just like the most powerful of the cards that we've seen so far. Like the priest one is going to enable some combos, but this is just going to be like this enables like an archetype again, right? Like this makes Control Warrior like be a thing again. And right now we've seen Dead Man's Hand, but it only really works as like this fatigue style mill warrior thing, which has some decent matchups, but some other matchups that are just absolutely terrible for it. So, but this is like you don't have to play that way. Like I could go back to like Wallet Warrior style type thing, where it's like I just know I can deal with aggro with just one card. The fact that you can just play it up to 5 times in a turn, pretty disgusting, right? Deals with Divine Shields, deals with Death Rattles. It's pretty freaking good.
Yeah. Like compared to other cards, you're overpaying a little. Like if you're trying to get 3 damage out of this thing, you're gonna have to cast it 3 times, which is gonna cost you 6 as opposed to 4 for something like a Duskbreaker. But yeah, again, that flexibility really makes this card attractive.
Yeah, like Duskbreaker doesn't really deal with some Shaman boards sometimes, or I mean some Paladin boards sometimes. It's really annoying. You're like, oh great, Duskbreaker, but I killed 2 minions, you know?
Yeah, the way that this deals with things like Divine Shield is disgusting.
Yeah.
The fact that the damage is staggered. It's very, very much the same way Defile incites such rage in me.
Yeah, it's staggered and it's flexible, and I think those 2 things together just make it so worth, right? Like, you know, if you do it 4 times, it's 8 mana Flame Strike that actually killed Death Rattles and Divine Shields, right? If it's 2 times, it's Consecrate. If it's 3 times, then it's Blizzard, right? Like it's like Super Blizzard, right? So it's like I don't know. Like to me, like these are all fine amounts of mana to pay for this effect.
Mm-hmm.
I do like too that we're seeing Echo on a spell because all the other Echo things that we've seen so far have been minion specific. So I think this opens up a whole new interesting kind of design space that we haven't seen in this set yet. So I'm interested to see what else we see spell wise that has Echo on it. Because I think you're right. I think this is this is a fine level of power, I think, to have Echo on it. I hope they stick to this power level because being able to cast the same spell multiple times in a turn is powerful, period.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it depends on the effect, right? But yeah, this is
Well, that's what I mean. Like, it could get out of hand very quickly. This is good. This is balanced. I like this.
Or it could
I think it'll see play.
It could get in hand very quickly because this is a quality card. Sorry, I just couldn't help myself. Jocelyn, what is the next card called?
Fluffy Wasp.
I don't see how that wasp is fluffy.
I don't think it's very fluffy either. I'm really confused. Like, was this a mistranslation or something? Like, why? It's really pokey, actually, if you look at it closely.
Wasps in general aren't fluffy.
No.
Bees are sometimes.
And this guy has like a lot of like really pokey bits on its legs and stuff, in addition to obviously the stinger. Like, I don't know. There's nothing fluffy about this card.
Yeah.
Not feeling the fluff here.
This is where I'm wondering if it's a translation error as well. Q tweets and emails saying, hey, the translation's off. It's like, it happens. It happens. Anyway, Fluffy Wasp, for now, is a 2-mana, 1/3 rare warrior beast that has Rush and proves that Team 5 lies because it says has +3 attack when damaged. And they said that they didn't see any enraged cards coming soon.
Well, but it's not enrage. It's +3 attack while damaged.
Dills. I'm gonna come
It's
through
a
the
new
internet.
mechanic, Garrett.
I'm gonna grab you through the internet. Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically enrage.
This is a cool card. I like Fluffy Wasp.
I mean, I don't know if it's good or not, but it has potential to be good. The problem is that it has to come out and kill something. So people need to be playing like 2/1s or 1/1s a lot. And I think against decks that do have the 2/1s or the 1/1s, like you'll just Warpath those cards away, right? You won't necessarily Fluffy Wasp them. Now you could combine these two cards together, play your Fluffy Wasp, Warpath it, and then you got a 4 attack thing that can kill something with, So collectively you're killing things with like 5 health. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm a wait and see on this card. Like potential is definitely there though. I think it's gonna be a fantastic arena card, by the way.
I was gonna say, what about arena? Because that was the kind of thing that jumped out at me.
Yeah.
Right away.
This is a definitely helpful arena card, I think, because you will have situations where it's kind of like a ping effect, where you get a body that remains.
Right. The Rush has me excited. Like I know we were lukewarm on Houndmaster Shaw, but I'm still excited about that card existing. Rush. I'm glad that they changed it up. That we got a version of Charge that is easier to balance around, because it's just not. It's not something our headspace hasn't been there thinking about Hearthstone as a game where you can attack with your minion the same turn you play it. So I'm glad that that gate is getting opened up.
Yeah, no, I agree with that for sure. I think I think there's a lot of room for Rush to just be like the mechanic we were all waiting to see, right? And any card that has it, I'm kind of like, okay, let's give this one a chance.
Yeah. Let's talk about Lord Godfrey next, which means we're moving into Warlock. This is 7 mana, 4/4 legendary minion for Warlocks that has a battle cry that reads, deal 2 damage to all other minions. If any die, repeat this battle cry. Lord Godfrey is Defile on crack.
Yep. I mean, yeah, this is going to be good. Like, Control Warlock didn't really need this help, but they got it. I mean, this is just dealing 2 damage. Like we saw for a while, people were messing around with Defile with the spell damage plus the spell damage plus Divine Shield guy, right? Just to kind of make sure like the first 2 hits hit for 2. I'm glad this is a legendary, because I wouldn't want Warlocks to have 2 of these and 2 Defiles and 2 Hellfires and just screw it. No one ever has minions except for them. So yeah, I think this is definitely going to see play right away.
Yep. There's going to be a 4/4 at the end of this. So yeah, I have.
Well, yeah. So this, because it's a battle cry, Godfrey doesn't actually hit the board, right? So
he doesn't take any damage. It's
regardless of the number of times it goes off, you're left with a 4/4.
He's
period.
a 4/4 at the end,
right? Because it says all other minions in his card text.
Yeah.
So he doesn't.
Oh, all other minions. Oh, okay. I missed that. Sorry. I thought it just said all minions.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's basically blowing up around him, kind of Baron Geddon style, right?
Yeah. Just a good card. I'm worried about Warlock removal moving forward.
Yeah, they just have all the AoE, don't they?
Yeah. I don't know why this didn't go to another class, really.
Not sure either. We also have another Warlock legendary to talk about, Glinda Crowskin, a 6 mana 3/7 legendary minion that reads, minions in your hand have echo. That's a cool effect.
Yeah,
it is. I think the cost is too prohibitive though to make this a thing.
Yeah, because you want to.
I don't know. I'm a little worried specifically in Wild because they changed Molten Giant, so this feels like yet another play a card and then spam a bunch of 0-cost giants. Also got Keleseth, who's a thing.
Yeah, but I don't think that'll replace Naga Sea Witch. Naga Sea Witch allows you to do it on turn 5. With Glinda Crowskin, you'll have to play this on 6 and have taken 20 damage. Like, you're still just going to Naga Sea Witch.
You don't have to take 20 damage anymore, though, because they changed Molten Giant back, right?
No, now it's 20 damage. It was 25 damage before. Now they've changed it back to just 20. So you have to be at 10 health. And then you get a bunch of 0 cost 8/8s. So that's fine. That's where it should be. The Naga Sea Witch is like, if Glinda Crowskin allows you to do that, then cool. But yeah, like I don't think you in the Naga Sea Witch version. I think you just still play your turn 5. Like all your giants cost 0, not just Molten Giants.
Yeah.
And you don't have to take 20 damage. You have to take 5. So I still think even there it's not that crazy. So the thing is in like standard. Like they talked about, maybe you could do something with Summoning Portal, but even then, like first Summoning Portal costs 4, second one would cost 2.
Yeah.
Can't play Glinda Crowskin and a bunch of stuff after that. Like Glinda Crowskin will cost 2, so now you spent 8. You can't make anything cost less than 1 with Summoning Portal.
Right. So then you've got 2
you
more
only
things
got 2
you can
more
do.
minions.
Yeah.
No matter what. Like Now the thing is, it is a 3/7, so it does have a potential to get played and stick around. But
Yeah.
if it doesn't stick around, and you've built a deck around somehow doing this crazy echo thing, then I guess you just lost your win condition. So yeah, I don't know.
I mean, at least it's not a battle cry, right? It's like a persistent effect. So as long as she's on the board and surviving, then anything you draw will have echo too. So I think it's good that she's heavily swung in the health direction, because I think she probably will stick around more often than not. I mean, 3 9s are tough to remove on turn 6 or 7. So
that's true. That's true. And there's ways to cheat minions out. Not that big warlock has been a thing, but we have seen.
At least she's not a demon.
Right. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I think if you can find ways to get copies of Crowskin out or recruit Crowskin out, that's where my headspace is at. Like, I want to try and make this work, and the way I'm going to make it work is by not paying that 6 mana for my Crowskin. Which, by the way,
so there's that legendary dude that brings out a 1, a 2, and a 3 attack minion. So
sure, yeah, you could do.
You could cheat her out that way.
Yeah, you could do Master Oakhart things, maybe.
Yeah.
Which is another.
I don't know. I think
even then, it's like, yeah, you'd pay 9. So if you did that, you'd probably want to bring out like a Dirty Rat or something to try to protect it, right? And then then that costs 9. So then the next turn, you're hoping to actually take advantage of this effect. But then you also have to be running
10 mana to do crazy shenanigans with.
Then you have to like be playing minions that you want, like minions that are super sweet if they had echo, right? And I don't know what those are yet. I guess little charging guys could be a thing.
Charging guys or rushing guys?
Well, no, I mean like charging guys. Yeah, like try to actually kill her face, right? Like that's the kind of thing you do with combos. Try to finish the game.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. But then there's not enough of those things, and you don't have power overwhelming anymore. So I don't know. I'm not sure what you even do it with.
It's only minions. It's not spells.
Yeah, it's not spells.
Yeah. So thankfully, you couldn't like play Stone Tusk Boar in Wild or something, and then power overwhelming it. 9 times?
Oh yeah, 9 times. Yeah, that would be that would be good.
Yeah, I'm filing Glinda Crowskin away under lots of potential, not sure. So
I'm a little worried about her, but hopefully I'm wrong, because I feel like Warlock is already just powerful enough. Like, just give them stupid crappy cards, please.
Yeah.
I think this is the crappy card. I think they got a crappy card. It's this one. And then they got the other one, which is not crappy. But this, I don't know. Like, I do see what you're saying, though. Like, a mechanic like this has potential to become exploitable at some point, right?
Just because we've lived through the most recent expansion, where I never used to think of, oh yeah, mana cost is kind of irrelevant now. That's the world of Hearthstone we live in. Like, it not always, but it has the potential to be irrelevant because of what we've seen in Kobolds. So I'm not counting it out. I'm not counting Glinda out. So let's move on to the neutrals. Another card has actually just been revealed, so I'll just pull that in at the very end of this. Looks like it's a hunter card.
Yeah, it's a hunter card.
Yeah. The have everything organized perfectly person in me is like, no, it wasn't out in time to talk with the other hunter card. I'll just have to live. But let's move on to our neutrals for now and talk about Rotten Apple Bomb. It's a 5-mana, 4/5 common neutral minion with taunts and a death rattle that reads restore 4 health to your hero. Yeah, it's a neutral card.
Yeah, I like adding neutral ways to be defensive. So this is like that all day. The body is obviously like a little you're paying a little too much for it, but you get the taunt, you get the death rattle, so you essentially like soak at least 9 damage, but kind of more because you also probably trade with something that would have hit your face a few times. So, we're losing N'Zoth, which I think is like, oh, okay, well that would have been cool to be able to bring these back, right? But I'm thinking about in standard, like the first deck I initially thought of was the Hadronox Taunt Druid.
Ooh, yeah. Bring back all your taunt minions that you played this game.
Yeah. So, and in Wild, you could also bring back like them again, right? Which is one of the things, because Hadronox is a death rattle. So in Wild, you could just do some cool stuff. But in Standard, like this might be the card like where, they're losing, Druids are losing Jade. So they're going to need to figure out some other
new deck
type of thing to do. Yeah. And maybe it's something like play a bunch of taunt minions, bring them back. I mean, this is going to gain you some health and be a taunt minion and come back. So could be a thing. We'll see.
Also, Arena. You will be taking Apple Bomb into Arena.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. This is actually a really good Arena card. Definitely.
Yeah.
Plus, it's a common too, so it's common and it's neutral. So I think we're going to be seeing a lot of this.
Yeah, I get the feeling like this is going to be kind of like one of those go-to, like, okay, I've got a deck that I'm trying to do control-y stuff, and I need some heals. Oh, okay, I'll just put the Apple Bomb in, right?
Yeah.
Like that's so, I think like if Rogue tries to do that type of thing, they've got this. Like if Priest wants to do that type of thing, if a Paladin wants to go late, like maybe this is a thing now for them. Just anybody who just needs a little bit of healing, right? That just doesn't have it naturally.
Hunter who wants to control
there you
things.
Go. Yeah, Hunter doesn't have healing.
Eyebrows are raised. Speaking of Hunter, Muck Hunter is up next. It's another 5-mana card. This is a 5-mana 5/8 epic neutral minion that has Rush, as well as a battle cry that reads summon 2 2/1 mucks for your opponent.
As far as I know, no one knows what a muck is.
No,
other than I thought it was like mud, like dirt, but I don't know.
I was
Maybe
thinking
they're
like
swamp oozes, except for instead of made of ooze, they're made of dirt. I don't know.
I think they're fish. I'm gonna guess.
Really?
Fish?
Yeah.
But he's
like, well, aren't mucks?
But this is a Worgen cosplaying as Vala. Like,
I mean.
Yeah, there's no fisherman-ness about this Muck Hunter card.
No, I'm going to go with oozlings made out of mud. Mud monsters is what I'm assuming.
Okay. Like, I feel, I don't know, I just feel like fish. Little fishy guys.
But I don't think this card is terrible for neutral. I mean, it's 5 mana for 5 damage that you can put anywhere but face.
And it's probably going to live.
Probably, and then probably get traded off by the tokens it summons against itself, but it's fine.
Well, I mean, unless you're playing in Warrior and you've got a whole bunch of whirlwind effects, right? We just talked about Warpath earlier, not to mention they've got Blood Razor and just Whirlwind built into the class and the Death Knight. I think if you're playing this in a Warrior deck, then there's a really good chance that you clear off their 2/1s as well as some other bigger threat that they've got on the board.
True. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, you just give them the 2/1s because you don't care about them because they just die, right?
Exactly, yeah.
But yeah, like Leroy gives you the 1/1s, but you hit face with it, and this you can't do that. So it's gonna have to be pretty specific what kind of deck you're playing this in. Could be a decent just arena card, just because it's like I get a 5/8 on board that deals with whatever bigger thing you have, and I give you 2/1s. Maybe I'm playing Rogue and I just dagger them. Maybe I'm playing Mage and I ping one, like. It's fine. It's whatever. This card is just kind of like, I don't think it's that great. I don't think it's that bad. It's just kind of sits there. I don't think it ever gets played and constructed. But I think in Arena, it's a card that you'll see sometimes. You'll be like, okay, I guess I'm picking Muck Hunter.
Yeah. No, I think it's average for Arena. And then Nightmare Amalgam will be the final neutral card for today. This is a 3-mana, 3/4 Elemental Mech Demon Murloc Dragon Beast Pirate Totem.
Yeah.
This is every tribe currently in the game. The text says all of the things that it is, and then under the little tribe tab, it just says all. If you haven't seen this card already.
So this card is super cool, but I don't think it's actually good. But it is super cool.
So all the crabs can eat it? and the Dragon Slayer
can eat it. Yep. Mm-hmm.
All the hate removal can remove this card.
Which currently none of them are being played.
True.
Like, people aren't playing the Galactic Crawlers anymore, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's just like, I think of these types of decks, I'm like, I don't think any of them just puts a neutral 3/4 into them just because it's the same tribe, right? Like, generally they all kind of do something with each other, right? Like, you don't see...
Yeah, this would be like another enabler, but I don't think any of the tribe decks were short of enablers, you know? Like, none of the pirate decks were short pirates. None of the Murloc decks are short Murlocs.
There's a couple of just vanilla Murlocs, right?
Yeah.
That just are Murlocs, but nothing else. They do not get played.
That's what this is, right? It's just a vanilla card. It just has
vanilla.
a paragraph of text on it, but it's basically just a vanilla card. It doesn't do anything on its own.
Yeah, I would be interested in these types of cards. What I'm hoping is, all right, this is out. We now know what all means. Can we get all cards that have other effects on top of it? Because that would be cool. Because then it could find home in multiple tribe-based decks. It could find a home in a Murloc deck. It could find a home in a Dragon deck. The thing is that a vanilla 3/4 for 3 isn't going to. It's not good enough to make its way into Constructed.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think, you know, you're... If like... So I heard people in my chat yesterday saying, well, it's going to be nice if, like, we don't get dragons to replace the ones that we're losing in Standard. But I'm like, if you don't get dragons to replace the ones we're losing, this isn't going to be good enough to make dragon decks good. Yeah. Like, you're just not going to play dragon decks. That's what's going to happen. So... yeah, it's a cool card, and I think you will pick it in Arena, and I like the design of it. I just actually don't think it's very good. I think it's bad.
Yeah.
Just as a card.
For me, it's just the potential that an all tribe exists. That's cool.
Yeah, no, that's very cool. Yeah.
This card itself is whatever. It exists.
Yeah.
That's about as much as I could say about it. I just I hope they don't feel the need to list this paragraph on any future cards that have the all tribe. Like, just put all on it.
I kind of wish that they hadn't listed it at all. You know, like, I wish it just said at the bottom all tribes, and then you either
it's the
play
first
around
time they've done it, so maybe in the future they just say all. But the first time they wanted to, like, describe it, right? So
and I kind of understand that. I just hope that this doesn't, like, and I don't think that we've actually. Oh, I guess Elemental was a new tribe and Mechs were a new tribe that they introduced. But I kind of just hope that they're not like, here's all the tribes, and then they never introduce more tribes. Yeah. That's my only concern. Like, if it just said all and didn't have that, I guess they can change card text too. But yeah, if it was just blank and just said all, that would make me happier. Because I want them to keep exploring the tribe space. I think tribes are really interesting.
Yeah. I do too. I've been waiting for, like, just races in Warcraft. It's such a big thing in World of Warcraft. I've been wanting, give me elves, give me Tauren, give me orcs, give me humans, give me everything. But they've clearly have been only deploying tribes, like, tactically, which is fine. But yeah, so give me more of these cards with interesting effects that make me actually want to play them.
Mm-hmm.
But very cool that this is getting made. As for the card that was announced or revealed while we were in the middle of recording, it is another Hunter card. It's called Hunting Mastiff, and it's a 2-mana, 2/1 common Hunter Beast that has Echo and Rush. So you can play as many 2/1 rushing beasts as you have the mana to cast.
And you don't even need Houndmaster Shaw.
Nope. Just rushes on its own.
Yep.
This seems pretty good to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't see why this wouldn't see tons of play. I mean, for 2 mana and 2 cards, you just have the ability to clean up tons of boards. Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Well,
this
and I
is
mean,
good.
like,
This is holy crap!
scavenging-
This is what just came out today. This is amazing.
yeah, this
Yeah.
just happened while we were recording. Tice revealed it about half an hour ago. I mean, put a scavenging hyena down and then just run your mastiffs into stuff and make a huge hyena at the same time. Like, seems good, man.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna
This
need
card
some
is awesome.
gonna need some mana to pull that off. But yeah, I think hunting mastiff is this is just good.
And it's a beast, so you can play it and then activate your kill commands. You could Houndmaster, you could do all sorts of stuff with it. Wow. What?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Oh,
all
man,
right,
you
maybe
could-
Control Hunter. Maybe.
You could Houndmaster it before you attack into something. Oh, that's so cool. I forgot about Houndmaster. Thank you, Dills.
Yeah.
You could
Well,
adapt
that's the
it
thing, 'cause it has
beforehand.
the beast tag. There's so many things you can do with this card.
Yeah, you can adapt it beforehand. Doesn't matter how big the thing is. Just hope you get
Yeah,
poisonous.
Crackling Razor Maw.
If you have enough mana and it's like, oh, I really need poisonous. Drop Hunting Mastiff, play Crackling Razor Maw. Oh, damn, I didn't get poison. Oh, that's all right. I'll just drop another Hunting Mastiff because it has Echo.
Yeah. Let's try again.
Oh, boy, I
Well, you'll
guess
have to
you-
have a second Razor
You'd have to
Maw.
have a
You'd have to
second
have a
Razor
second
Maw.
Razor Maw,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, it's all
But
right.
that
It's
could
all
be
right.
a thing. That
No,
could
I'm gonna play somehow get a random legendary. I'm gonna get Crow Skin so that all my minions have Echo, and then I don't need to have a second Crackling Razor Maw.
Sure. That seems feasible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, I really wish we'd get a Deathstalker Rexar update because I want Hunting Mastiff to be in the pool.
Oh, we
of
are. It's
Deathstalker Rexar.
they announced that it's happening when this expansion hits. That
With
they're
all
actually
of this
fixing it.
expansion stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. It's gonna have this
Yay!
and kobolds are all gonna be fixed.
Excellent.
Their
All right.
words.
Well, then I'm excited.
You do not remember last week when we had that bit about how we're like, well, what if they add too many words to cards? Then they just don't have to add them because they've already given themselves the out of saying, well, if it's too wordy, it probably won't get added to Death Star Rexar. But this is not too wordy, all right? This has two words on it.
This is actually insane with Deathstalker
No, it
Rexar.
is
Holy crap!
too
Because
wordy.
you could put it on actual charge minions. You can put it on the boar.
I caught it, Joss. I caught it. Yeah, we're good.
Glad.
Yeah, Hunting Mastiff is amazing. And if you come up with some reason that this card does not work with Deathstalker Rexar, I'm okay with the Reddit riots that take place.
Yeah.
I will support the Reddit riots. So, yeah. Well, cool. Guys, we did it. We made it through a sizable stack of cards. There'll be probably even more to talk about next week. But it's on its
I'm
way.
sure.
Witchwood is rapidly approaching. And
Yeah, we've got, based on the 9th as the end of the Year of the Raven promotion, we've got like 2 weeks, right?
Pretty much.
if
Before
that,
release?
yeah, if that ends up being the release.
Yeah, either, 2 weeks exactly if they're going to release on the 10th, or 2 weeks and 2 days if they're releasing on the 12th. So
Yeah.
my body is ready.
Yeah. And I mean, there were a lot of cards that today we were pretty lukewarm on, I feel like. But time and time again now, it's been like, it seems like when they do the final dump, when they're like, all right, here's the rest of the cards that we didn't give Angry Chicken to reveal. There's so many good things in there. There's things that just kind of blow your mind. So that's why I'm going through this. I'm like, yeah, Witchwood, Apple, Whispering Woods, those seem like crap. Handmaster Shaw is a cool card, but I don't know if it finds play. I don't know. I don't know. I think, I'll reserve this judgment for the end, but I think maybe they should think about the order in which they reveal the cards. Like, show us just some really cool crap right out the gate. I don't need to see Muck Hunter in the first week of
Sure,
reveals.
sure.
Like,
Yeah, you can do that on the big dump at the end.
yeah, save Muck Hunter for the big dump. Exactly. But anyways, before we wrap up, we have
Tell us
patrons-
what mucks are.
Tell us what
Yeah.
mucks are if you're going to show us Muck Hunter in the first week. Go from there. Before we leave, we got to thank our patrons over patreon.com/TAC. The Patreon is the best way to support this show, to support Jocelyn, to support Dills, to support me. We really appreciate it, everyone. Cannot thank you enough. Every little bit helps. On this episode, we want to thank either Rocco or Rocco. I like Rocco because I grew up in the 90s with Nickelodeon. So Rocco L, Reza, no last name given, and Andrew, no last name given. Thank you for becoming patrons and supporting this podcast. Also, huge thanks to our producers, Declan H., Michael N., Chauncey, Johnny S., and LVE. You guys are awesome. If you want an Angry Chicken t-shirt, you want to, walk around town and people ask you, like, "Ooh, what's the Angry Chicken?" And then maybe once, one person will be like, "Dude, I love that podcast." And you're going to make a best friend for life. Head on over to shirts.amove.tv. Best friends for life is not a guaranteed, by the way, outcome of buying one of these shirts, but it could happen. So go check that out. Follow the show on Twitter at TAC Podcast. And before we go around the table, Dills, you do all sorts of other things, many of which are Hearthstone related. Not all are. Where can folks find that?
Some are. By the way, I just found out they're mucklings.
Oh.
I just looked it up. They're mucklings. The muck hunter hunts mucklings. And the mucklings are, like little murloc-y looking fish dudes. They're fish dudes. With
Okay.
claws.
All right. When I hear Ling, I think like Zerg, but that's fine. That's fine. It's fine in the same way.
Well, a ling is a fish, right? Just like a straight up ling.
Is there a fish called a Ling? That's news to me. Was not.
But they're like little fish people.
I thought it was
with murloc. But it doesn't have the murloc tag. That's the funny thing about it. But he looks super creepy. So yeah, search it. I think on Hearthstone you can find it.
I checked.
Anyway, catch me on twitch.tv/WillyDills, playing a bunch of Hearthstone. I'm starting a new job, so I'll be streaming fairly late over the next few days. But once that kind of settles in, I'll be back to streaming basically all the time. So come check me out.
Awesome, dude.
Especially around the time of the new expansion. There will be another like 12-hour marathon when that happens, whatever day that is.
Nice. Joss, you also do plenty of other things. Some are Hearthstone related, not all are. Where can folks find that work?
Find me on Twitter and Twitch. I'm at Joss Plays. That's JOCE Plays. Also, if you missed it, there's actually a post on the Play Hearthstone blog where they interviewed me about HCT Toronto. So if you guys haven't seen that yet, go and check it out. I was very, very happy and proud to be asked to give them a non-pro player view of the HCT tour stops. So go and check it out. Also, this week, we're going to have a new episode of Shipwrecks and Shanties, which is the Sea of Thieves podcast. We're continuing it past launch. There's been a lot of updates this week, so please do go check that out.
Sweet. Folks, I'm Garrett Art on Twitter. All of the podcasts are at amove.tv. I'm doing a new thing. I'm going to try a new thing. We'll see what happens. I have a graphic design portfolio up, and it's a place I've mentioned before where you can go and contact me if you need a graphic designer. It's nomoonart.com. I've had some people ask if instead of doing design, like they could just book me for my time and talk about podcasting, get my advice on podcasting, get podcasting lessons. So I've just made a portal for that. It's nomoonart.com/lessons. So if you're starting a podcast, any type of content creation, if you want to know how to use Photoshop to make covers and thumbnails that look good, any of that kind of stuff, check it out. Again, nomoonart.com/lessons. Still have all the podcasts. Joss and I just put up a brand new episode of Embrace the Spoilers for the Pacific Rim sequel. We'll be putting up a new one next week for Ready Player One. Westworld is starting up, so if you like pop culture and spoilers, that podcast covers most of what I would assume folks in our sphere would be watching. So go check it out. That's going to wrap it up for this episode. Thank you again, everyone, for listening. And until next time, job's done.
Job's done.
Job's done.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
There's a yes. We have a yes. And Shaman's right. We forgot to say that taco invitations were live. Or registration.
It's fine.
It's fine.
If people are here, they know about taco, right?
I put
And
the
we'll tweet
post
it.
in the chat
That's
room,
fine.
too. It's already been tweeted at least once, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Did we do a tweet about it being open to everyone? I did tweet yesterday for patrons only.
No, there's no. I haven't tweeted about it being open to everyone yet. But here you go, chat. Open
Yeah.
to you guys.
Woo. Oh. Burp.
Now I have to go get ready for work. That's weird.
Yuck.
Yeah. That's a feel. That's a feel.
Although I'm looking forward to this. Like literally next to my house, and it's like a little hotel bar.
I would
Should be
like
kind of fun.
I would like some extra money, and I realized that a bar I recently discovered that I really like is hiring bartenders, and I'm like, do I want to
There
try
you go.
that? Do I want to
Yeah.
try it? Do I want a thing where I have to like show up at a certain time and clock in and be presentable? I don't know. I think maybe.
But I mean, bartending is actually I find it to be super fun because you just kind of, I don't know, like it's like probably you're social while you're doing it, you know?
yeah.
That to me is like that makes it interesting.
Yeah.
Like
And also,
I hated the job where I went to a place and sat down at an office and then 8 hours later got up and left. You know?
yeah, I've done that.
Oh god, that killed my soul.
Yeah, it did. It also killed my back. I had to get a chiropractor when I had my last office job.
Yeah. But like, I don't know. That's why streaming I find enjoyable. Like I sit down and I'm talking to people all day, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, bartending, it's like, you know, talking about cocktails and stuff, and then like people are telling me about what's going on in their life, and it's, I don't know, it's just kind of interesting.
Yeah. Also, part of me, just because of the cocktail hobby stuff, I'm like, I want to prove to myself that I can do this in the real world.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah,
So,
you definitely could, man. It would increase your skills, actually.
yeah. So I'm debating.
All right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. Take this dog out before I do all this stuff. But good show. I will talk to you guys soon.
Sweet.
Peace.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, chat room.
Bye, chat.
Oh, Garrett, before you go,
Wait.
did you see? Huh?
Shit. Hold up. I'm trying to kill the